I guess all y'all saw that fat idiot Druski making fun of me. Well, when he makes fun of me, he makes fun of God. The only thing that will make this right is for y'all to give. So get out your purse.
The thing that was wrong with that Druski skit was he ain't pulled up in that Cybertruck like Mike Todd did. I still think about that to this day, of how he pulled up in that church with that Cybertruck. Druski didn't even over exaggerate. I think he under exaggerated. Quite frankly, I always found mega churches to be quite weird anyway, because why is my preacher is just swinging in the air like he's some kind of doggone acrobat, like this is some kind of Cirque du Soleil or something. And I still don't know where at in the Bible where it said you had to pull up in that church in that Cybertruck. Okay, listen, Druski had it on point. And now all the church folks and the deacons and the deaconesses mad at Druski. But I don't remember y'all being mad at Marvin Winans when he tried to kick that lady out of line because she ain't tired enough. And I don't remember when y'all was mad at Marvin Sapp when he held up all them people in that church and he told them ushers to lock the doors. But now y'all want to be mad at Druski. Like I said, I've been found mega churches to be weird. Like, you remember that lady who she was calling around them churches is asked would they feed her hungry baby and they told her to kick rocks. Listen, them churches be
Druski has challenged my integrity, and that really upsets me. I pour my soul into this work, y'all. And when a man tries to...
And to the Christians who are upset about this Druski skit, how did y'all find out about it anyway? Ain't y'all supposed to be on the Daniel fast? Daniel didn't have no cell phone. Daniel did not have no TikTok, no Instagram, no Twitter, no Facebook. So y'all shouldn't have been on social media anyway.
Druski wouldn't have a skit if they didn't have the script. Let me repeat that. Druski wouldn't have a skit if they didn't have the script.
Druski skit not funny. It's actually very sad that that's the reality of the church. Y'all mad at him when they need to be at these pastors y'all praise. The one thing you think is here to help you, save you, heal you, is a part of the struggle. It's sort of like you can't run away from the system. The system is embedded in everything. But just like the system, everything gets exposed. Yup, wake it up. It's time everybody wake up as a collective. These people are brainwashing y'all. And I love to say it. It's the man right now on TikTok calling Druski a fat bitch. Inside the church. They all about to be so mad and they about to prove his point. He ain't disrespecting God. He's showing y'all how these pastors be disrespecting y'all God. This man Todd pulled syrup on the Bible and y'all clapped. He showed exactly what people are seeing, most of us, because some of y'all are fucking blind. And what most people have experienced, it's not freeing, it's controlling, it's judgment. Struggle wrapped in God's will. Wake up. The church don't exist outside of the system. It's tied to politics, money, power, and control, period. And that's why people in the church are still suffering instead of growing. Only person who growing is the damn pastor. And the family connected to the pastor. I gotta stop playing and acting like this ain't reality. This real. Some pastor locked his whole church inside the building. Talking about money. Come on, y'all was there. Druski held up a mirror, and if you ain't like what was in the mirror, maybe it's not disrespect. Maybe it's recognition.
Don't let that Druski skit mess y'all's heads up. Y'all know damn well we don't move that way. Y'all money is God and the church's money. We can't let fat motherfuckers do whatever the hell.
That Druski skit on mega churches was not funny. It was hilarious and spot on. Before y'all comment, I just want y'all to know that's how the rest of the world sees your church. So go argue with a wall. Don't argue with me. Y'all be seeing all those performances your church be putting on, and I be wondering, where's all that money coming from? Your pockets, your blessings, your tithes and offering, the money that you've been struggling to pay your bills with. That's where that money is coming from. Your church got pyrotechnics, pastor be coming down from the sky like he was resurrected, all those smoke clouds. That ain't free. Every Sunday, your pastor come to church with a new suit or a new dress. It's 52 Sundays in a year, and they didn't repeat a suit or a dress not one time. It's no Bible verse that requires your pastor to be expanded in the air. It's no Bible verse that requires your pastor to have a Rolls Royce in the middle of the congregation. Your pastor driving an $80,000 car and you can't even pay your light bill, and you think God is telling you to give your struggling money to that church. Come on now, y'all gotta be better than that. Your pastor ain't got no job. They work work at the church, so you tell me, how are they doing better than you? Just watch, this Sunday, your pastor gonna stand in front of that big behind flat screen they got behind them and say something about Druski's skit. And the irony about it all is that your pastor is about to look exactly how Druski looked in his skit. And before y'all argue with me, y'all gotta go to y'all pastor, ask them how much that flat screen costs behind them, and then comment that first, and then we can argue. Because if you can't tell me how much that screen costs behind them, I'm not saying nothing back to you. But y'all let me know what y'all think.
Down to the church house on Sunday, and your pastor starts talking about how awful and how disrespectful that Druski's skit was, but your pastor has not said anything about the Frozen Water Brigade and how they're quite literally violating human rights and quite literally hurting and harming and unaliving people before our eyes. If your pastor has not uttered a word about the human rights violations and the quite literally illegal things that Donald and the Ducks are doing, if your pastor starts talking about Druski in a skit, but your pastor has not said anything about racism or how we need to protect children from people who are in those files, and how it's really important to make sure that we're protecting poor people and children and people who are foreigners and people who are disenfranchised, kind of like what it explicitly says in the Bible a few times. But your pastor wants to discuss a skit that somebody on social media did. I think that might tell you a little bit about your pastor's priorities.
Hey y'all, hey. So I know we're all talking about the Druski video. It's shaking up the community right now. And as someone who does like to agitate the church girlies, this is music to my ears. But all jokes aside, what if this Druski video is what dismantles the black church? What if this makes the whole black church implode? Because while people want to be offended by it, he's barely changing the scenarios of what he's parodying. This is how these pastors are acting in the pulpit. This is how they're behaving. They are the source material. He wouldn't have any material if they were not behaving in this way. And what if this is what changes everything? It's been discoursed to high hell and all the things, but baby, let me tell you, this has been crazy. This is probably his biggest. Is this his biggest video? I think it is. I ain't never laughed out loud. My mama saw it. My mama's a good old church lady, and she saw it organically, and we had a good conversation about it. Cause I'm like, that's how they be acting, mom. So it's just such a bigger conversation of, you know, how far he went, or if it's what it's disrespectful to. If it is disrespectful, because it's not disrespectful, because that's what y'all be doing. And he shot it in an actual sanctuary. It happened. So now what? It's just this is, man. And again, this is the year I be in church. This is still accurate though. It don't take nothing away from the kingdom of God, because the people in the kingdom is behaving like this.